Oh, maybe the rain stopped it because yeah, it was basically there we go. Welcome everybody to episode 14 of the latest. Um, we had a little false start, but that's okay. Football season's over. Now all the false starts will be happening on the latest. Um, we have so many things in the news this week. And Brad, you were talking about Adobe this morning and Apple, right? I think about, when some of these companies that already have the big install bases that may have been sleeping a little bit, right? I think kind of early, well, a year ago or two, we're talking about Firefly, a lot of the Adobe products. For me, there's been a lot of other distractions like
Yeah.
you said at CES last week or last month, we're seeing which is amazing. It was only last month. We're seeing the robots and other things, right? But what do you think? I mean, the companies with the big install bases don't have to rush. They've already got the customers.
Yeah. Well, the one thing I think, David, is it's super cool that I've got Otter, the recording software running because, like you said, we thought we were recording. We were recording, but not live to YouTube. So I've
Right.
got what we said, which was welcome everybody, episode number 14 of the latest. Welcome everybody. Yeah, because I'm looking at my other screen here. We talked about how Apple is now talking about humanoid and non-humanoid robots. So a Roomba, the small vacuum, is a non-humanoid robot, and then you see humanoid robots, just like legs, arms, torso, and head shaped like a human. And we talked about how there's the pure metal looking robots, and then there's the plastic looking robots that look like they're a person, but certainly you don't mistake them for a real person, but they try. Um, are these companies, the big companies, Apple and Meta and Amazon and Google, or their new names, Alphabet, um, are they making smart moves by waiting, including Adobe? I think they are because when all these Chinese models have launched in the last 6 weeks, as if like 6 weeks is over here to my right, right? That's right here, 6 weeks ago. When all these companies have launched from China and from different countries outside of North America that claim to have made models for, a hat and a sandwich, which is to say nowhere close to the billions budget of OpenAI or other models. Um, I feel like the companies that watched and waited might be smart. Um, I think that Google and Microsoft and Apple and Meta and Amazon were always in the driver's seat. They were always in the power position because when they push a product to their many hundreds of millions of users, they're guaranteed a user base. When Apple pushes a product to every handset in the country or in the world, they know that most people are going to stop using the secondary software and just start using the Apple software. Same for Microsoft users. If you talk to people who are a Microsoft company, they don't know anything other than Copilot.
Totally.
Right? So why
But
not let five other companies rip through all the features and then you go, oh, that's great. I wouldn't have thought to put photos in. Oh, I didn't think to put video in. I didn't think to put in a teammate. And they're like, thank you for doing my research.
right.
Because we've said in our different communities, a lot of these features are not patentable ideas. You can't have a patent on like using a picture. You're like, is that really a patented idea or it's just common sense? So when you see six or seven or eight companies compete, I always think, is there room for seven giants? Or is there usually room for two or three? I think your business prof would tell you there's room for two, maybe three. When you look at sodas, when you look at running shoes, you look at fast food, they exist and they're profitable, but very rarely is there room, maybe automobiles, for more than three major companies.
Right. And I mean, I think if we look back, because a lot of times history does repeat itself, right? If we look at how the PC industry grew, and there was the operating system, which could be described as the LLMs now that are kind of under things, and Microsoft owned most of that market
Yeah.
till Apple kind of creeped up. Then open source and Linux and those things came out,
Yeah.
right? And what Microsoft would do was, either buy the companies that were the smaller groups, or they were taking their ideas or seeing that, oh, let's just add that as a feature to the operating system. So I think we're seeing a lot of that now. I think as the pandemic hit, and really what we kind of were leading up to the pandemic was the Silicon Prairie, the Silicon that's in, Kansas City, the area, Missouri, the Silicon Docks in Ireland. There's all these kind of innovation labs set up all around the world. You now have that exponentially growing with AI with a lot of these other businesses. And now companies, hey, let them do all the work. Let us cherry pick. And it's not even about infringing on their patents. If it is patentable, just buy them. And now you got a team of amazing people, right? So I think it is good. While seven may seem like a few, right? If we think of OpenAI, we think of, Amazon and what they're doing with Claude, Perplexity, at least there is a good spread, and the big companies are pushing. And again, that's just the LLM architecture, which I think was kind of a rush to market. And now we'll start seeing other models come out, like some things they're doing with spatial AI versus who we'll talk about in future weeks.
Mhm.
These other,
Yeah.
so
What I'm finding is where and when to use these products. I was in a meeting the other day. We came up with an idea. And then, one of my workflows is to use all the tools all at once. There's some people that have the tool. I think Mike K has shown us that grid. It's
right,
got 6 different language models. So it's the Google model, OpenAI model, um, Llama from Facebook. You can do Perplexity. You can do Claude. And I think there's more. You can do the two Groks, Grok with a K, Grok with a Q. You can choose which 6 you want. You can
right.
ask one question like, "Where's the best pasta in Italy?" I don't know, right? And then you get 6 different answers, and you go, "Oh, this is the one I like." What I like to do, which is a little different, and I'd love to share this workflow with our audience, is I'll ask the same question to all three, to Google, to Claude, and to ChatGPT. And then it takes I don't know, 30 seconds of effort. I copy Google's answer and Claude's answer back into ChatGPT. That's step one. Step two, I copy ChatGPT's answer and Claude's answer into Google, right? And then the third one, I copy the other two. So I give it everybody's response to question one. And I tell it, I go, here's what the other two said. Like, it's super simple language. You don't have to over explain anything. I just say Gemini's answer, Claude's answer, enter. I don't really put anything else in there. I just say Gemini's answer, Claude's answer, enter, or ChatGPT's answer, enter. I get it in one window, the other two's answers. And that's round two. And then I get all three with all three's knowledge. And you start to see which one you like. I do that about 3 times. It sounds like it takes a lot of effort, but honestly, it takes about 4 minutes. I mean, like a literal, your coffee is still warm, your coffee's still too hot to drink, and you're done, right? It's that fast. And what you get is you get all three language styles, you get all three information styles, and you get the best of all of them. And then you start to see, you're like, ooh, I really liked Claude's detail, and I really like Google's research, but ChatGPT speaks to me. And that's what
Right.
I find. Like
And
ChatGPT speaks to me, and I feel like this is the language I want to talk to people. Claude is sometimes a little rigid, and it's like, oh, I'm not going to quite give that to you because you didn't ask it right. But if you ask it right, it gives amazing intellectual structure, and Google does great research. Google can do hundreds and hundreds of websites of research. Um, More and more of these tools are becoming free. I think Google's Gemini has given the deep research tool, which is the one you want to use, to free users, right? There's the new 2.0 models, the Flash and Flash Experimental, etc. But if you want to go deep on something, there's 1.5, it's called Deep Research. Um, Claude, I feel like I've slept on Claude, and now I'm awake to Claude, and now I'm kind of wowed by how intelligent it is. But ChatGPT seems to be my go-to because I like the way it talks to me.
well, and I think maybe some of it, tell me what you think, is that you've just educated, it knows you the best because you've been
Yeah,
using it,
yeah,
probably spent a lot of time telling it about your goals
yeah,
and objectives. Do
yeah.
you tell the other ones that you're feeding it from Gemini to ChatGPT? See, I kind of hide that for some reason. I don't know if I don't want them to get
Yeah.
jealous or some other thing. But
Uh,
That's
Yeah.
interesting, Brad. I love that, and I'm going to learn from that. So thank you.
Yeah. Let's get to a couple things because I know today's episode is about 12 more minutes because that's the day.
And we'll keep
Uh,
it tight for people, right? I mean, I think if we give them 20 minutes every week, if they want more, they can come to Brain Juice Monday nights. They can come to the witty think tanks throughout the week, right? Other things
yeah.
from their communities. But yes, let's just because yeah.
Yeah. So I want to mention Adobe, right? Adobe Firefly. This is from yesterday, right? From the 12th. So it says Meet Firefly Video Model. It's AI power creation with unparalleled creative control. When you go to Adobe's website, I believe that the video you're watching is created with their tool. So it looks quite beautiful, quite colorful. Like that's what I noticed right away is this bright colors. Look at that owl flying. How is that like not from like George Lucas's studio or from Pixar? Like these are amazing images. And what I've learned from using Gamma is that sometimes when the video quality isn't perfect or the image quality isn't perfect, you can kind of put that frosted layer over it, and then it looks amazing. Like there's really easy ways to just put a small transparent layer over top of these to hide the flaws, and it still performs the function. That's a goldfish, that's a jellyfish, and then the owl comes up next, I think, um, or this little terrarium. But these look fantastic, right? And then the owl. So you're looking at a web app, which means you don't have to download a program. You can get it from the web. Um, so they're bringing together video, image, and vector generation in a single app that streamlines your creative flow. You can generate an image, which we've done before, right? Midjourney, Llama, uh, Dolly. You type in some words, say, "Give me a picture of an owl flying," and then you can turn that into a stunning video, right? And then you can translate your audio into several languages. For people who like the Adobe ecosystem, it's just good to know that this now exists. I think if you're going to explore Adobe, you're going to explore it. But I mean, like, look at this stuff. This looks stunning. Are there flaws in it? Yeah, but this is straight magic. Like, this didn't exist forever, and now you can just type words in and say, "Give me a, flying over a river next to a mountain."
Incredible.
It's absolutely incredible. Look at this smoke. That smoke looks real. I would have thought Snoop Dogg's going to slide in next with his slide whistle. Uh, like it's stunning. It's absolutely stunning. I think the reason to use Adobe is because of licensing. If it's an issue that you need to use licensed photos and licensed videos, I think that's the reason to use Adobe. Here's something that popped up on my radar yesterday. Even when I sent you, I'm going to send you this in the chat because we talked about this, and as soon as I sent you that list of things we might look at, this came up. Yesterday, I was on the HSE AI-led growth summit. And a guy from Storylane was there. So what this is a demo of your product in 2 minutes, right? It's like a literal 2 minutes. So if you are demonstrating anything, if you're doing like a video screen share, like a Loom software, not like Zoom with a Z, but Loom with an L, where your personal video is in a small circle in the corner and people screen share and see. This, okay, helps you create these videos.
Powered by Lily. Storylane is rated the easiest platform on G2 for creating interactive demos, making it effortless for your prospects to see and experience your product firsthand. Over 3,000 companies trust Storylane to spark interest and drive sales. And now with AI, creating demos is faster and smarter than ever. Ready to see what's possible? Let's dive in.
So these are interactive tours, and you can choose your own adventure. Different parts of the screen are highlighted, and when you click them, it shows you what is available, right? So you can see there's 5 menu options here. I can make a no-code edit. I can pause that, right? But
Yep.
what this software does is it helps you make these things. So when I watched the demo, the guy showed his screen, and then he hit the go button, and then it intelligently created where you're probably going to show people and the text to show people. It was really, really smart. I watched it yesterday. It looks brand new. So you capture your product, which is like you give it the website you're going to do. You do a couple of quick edits. It was literally like 2 minutes, and you created that beautiful looking thing. You might have to film those videos of you saying like, "Hey, welcome everybody, it's me." but it was so like user friendly. It looked so cool. And if I go to pricing, I've never clicked this. It might be $1,000. Oh, it's free. Okay. So for $40, if someone solved your demonstration problem and you did it once, that's not bad. Like, I mean, honestly, I keep saying this. You'd spend $40 on the lunch meeting to talk about what we're gonna do. Like
Yes.
it's so true. I said that about 10 or 20 different products, but most people aren't working on 10 or 20 products. They're working on one product. And like two of these softwares are going to solve your problems. This looks pretty dang cool. That's storylane.io.
Love it.
Um, what else did we have on our list, David? Perplexity has a new tool.
Yeah.
Let's go back to where we were.
I don't use Perplexity enough, Brad. I admit it. I think I've been hearing such great things, so I want to learn from you. I started digging in when they added DeepSeek. I got distracted, but yes, let's hear about this.
So this is from a couple days ago, the 11th, right? Today's the 13th. So this is Meet New Sonar. So Sonar is what they're calling it. It's a blazing fast model. It's optimized for Perplexity search. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, I've been hearing people use Perplexity and saying it's the best, right?
Right.
So it's built on top of Llama 3.370B. So I think Llama is telling you it's coming from Mark Zuckerberg. Is that correct, David? It's Mark Zuckerberg's Meta?
Yep, it's Meta's LLM.
Yeah, and so 3.3 is the version, and then 70B I think is the token size, which means you can pour in half your library, if I understand that correctly. Just because sometimes you watch other people who are really deep in these things, they just glance at it, they know what that means. And if you're not initiated to it, you're just like, how the heck did you know that? And it's like Llama is a brand name, 3.3 is a version name, and 70B stands for 70 billion tokens. That's what I believe. I could be wrong.
I think you're
So,
right.
they found that this allegedly outperforms GPT and Claude. Right. And again, this is from 2 days ago. I haven't had a chance to look at this, but it looks cool. So they've got a Cerebrus interference infrastructure. I guess this is just people who are fans of X-Men are naming their computer programs after Cerebro from the X-Men comic books. Like, it's weird to know the comic books of yesteryear and see the products being named. Perplexity has Sonar, and they're telling you that user satisfaction is up around 90%, that it's fast, that it's stable, that it's got 10 times the tokens per second. So the model speed looks like it's off the charts, that they're factual answers and high quality. Sonar is claiming leagues ahead for factual answers.
Wow.
Right.
Yep.
So here's the actual like look at it. So this is how Sonar answers questions, right? The answer from ChatGPT 4.0, it's like the latest model, gives you like two bland looking paragraphs, but Perplexity is giving you bold text, highlights, bullet points, etc. Claude, same kind of thing. It looks like Sonar is giving you tables. Here they're giving you formulas. I don't know that they haven't cherry picked the ones that look the best for them, but I'm hearing good things. What else?
Yeah, Nandika swears by Llama for a lot of the stuff he's doing with his AI startup, and Nandika's, one of the smartest people I know about this and managing tokens. So we're going to see a lot from here, Brad. And again, it's like these companies, Meta, Apple, Adobe, that have Microsoft, right, that have their user bases, they can just start pushing stuff through.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Once you send it out to your hundreds of millions of users, they're going to try it.
Right. And this is what is this? Oh, this
so I don't know how people are saying this word. High Luo or Hail Uo. I can't. HAI is high and LUO is Luo. So High Luo. It's not easy to say. I've never heard it said. Have you ever heard someone say that word?
I have not, but
Well, I have heard people post about this. So you're reimagining video creation. So anyone who wants to make video creation, like, look at this. This looks like a movie.
insane.
Like, this looks terrifying, but Oh, Jesus. All right. So, but like this stuff looks outstanding.
Insane.
Yeah. And I mean, some of it looks cartoony, but some of it looks super real. You know, it looks hyper real. That
Wow.
looks like it could be a real Starbucks ad.
Right.
This guy's cleaning your keyboard. How neat is this?
That's amazing. And I'll tell you too, Brad, they talk about sustainability and energy use. I mean, that's why I never use the ones at church just six at a time. I feel like I'm just six and Xing the energy use. And I love your workflow where you're kind of getting to a place. If you think of all those scenes you showed and in fashion and entertainment, how now they, rather than wasting so many of the earth's resources on creating a dress or a movie set or whatever, and being able to articulate the vision via these visuals, there's a lot of things that are going to be good for the environment too as we grow as a with humanity, right? And everything. So
I know you got to go. I'll squeeze this in. I used Operator, the ChatGPT model. I downloaded from LinkedIn all my contacts. You can look up how to do that online. Download your LinkedIn contacts. Just a couple clicks. Got the file, put it in Operator, and I had Operator go through my LinkedIn contacts and then categorize them. People who are in the entertainment industry, people who are writers. So it went through the spreadsheet of my many hundreds people and discerned if they were in a certain industry and marked yes. Maybe LinkedIn already does that, but I was just testing out. It's not about LinkedIn or the spreadsheet. I was just testing out that it could go through like 1,000 entry spreadsheet and interact with it, and it did.
amazing.
So
I'm getting with you on that too, Brad. I'm excited because I think that this is great stuff happening now.
yeah,
Right?
I know you got to make a shorter episode
No,
today.
that's okay. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
right. We're gonna end soon, but I would just say, just what we're both committed to is growing our communities, empowering humans. I know there's a lot of stressors out there with losing of jobs and this and that. Come to our sessions. Let us help you get to where you need to be. Everybody's starting around the same starting line. You don't have to have a computer science background. You don't have to have spent decades using technology, right? So that's where I know we're committed to doing great things as well as building our businesses. So
yeah. Anthropic, that makes the Claude large language model, sent out a big report in the last few days that showed very few people are really using these tools.
right,
That it's so early days, and that you are so able to join in and be the very first person who knows about these things. It is super early days. Like actual usage was around like 4% or something like that. So there are
right.
many opportunities for you to be the person who uses the tool very well. And I strongly encourage everyone. This is like learning cell phones or emails or the foundation of today's communication is cell phone and email. And 25 years ago, the people who were 35 plus pushed back against cell phones and emails and said no one likes either of those things. And I can tell you today, people born 30 years ago or sooner only want to type on their phone. They
Right.
don't want anything else. And so
Yeah.
AI feels like the same next logical movement forward is like people are going to want um, something new, and this is the something new that seems it might be a stepping stone to the next thing, but this is the direction. This is forward.
I love it. WITI.com, our think tanks. Brad, we have a URL now for Brain Juice. How can people find it?
Brainjuice.live. We are live every Monday night. Brainjuice live.
Okay. And we're going to have integration. We're going to be doing something together. I don't know what it looks like yet, but I have some ideas. That was the latest, Brad. Amazing. Have a great